Hey, welcome back, everybody. Well, first I want to say welcome back. Just welcome back. That's the best I can. It's the best greeting I got. So I'm in a creative world right now, and I decided that I wanted to make my own mod pack. So I went and did some research, and I found out about this here, um, thing called Mcreate. So I went and, started messing around a little bit, and by no means am I any good at this, but I was hoping that it might be able to broaden my knowledge on how mods are made. So when I'm creating my own mod pack, which I've been doing, um, I'd be able to, you know, maybe have a little more knowledge on the subject, so I wouldn't have to keep trying to find somebody, which is almost impossible, by the way, to help me with some of the little quirks I have. But so I've been working on a mod pack, and I haven't shot an episode in quite some time. I mean, I have episodes lined up to be uh, released till like next year. So I mean, like, I'm pretty ahead of the game, but I'm taking a break from Glacial Awakening, and if anybody wants me to continue it, I will continue it, or I might continue it at some point if I'm bored. But right now, I'm just I have a lot going on. I've been I kind of felt ill for a little while, so I wasn't really in the mood. I've been really low on energy, and my grandfather's been in and out of the emergency room. He was in intensive care just 3 or 4 days ago, so I've been spending a lot of time with that. So I haven't really been um, focused, I guess. My mind hasn't been, well, it's never where it needs to be, but it's really been in kind of an extra kind of depressed, I guess. But all in all, um, besides that, so I'm working on a mod pack, and I decided I wanted to see. I'm always complaining about how people or how mods work, and I'm like, I don't really understand how they work, but sometimes I'm like, why would somebody do that when it couldn't be too difficult to make it, this way? So I decided I wanted to figure out for myself. So let's get to it. This will be my first ever mod spotlight on my own mod. So I'm not done yet. There's a lot of things I want to change, but this is kind of like um, a sneak preview, a little update on life and everything. So I created several new blocks. First off, we have a stair. This is mostly for building. A thing of glass, which gives off a level 1 light level. I thought it'd be kind of cool. It's a luminescent kind of glass. And then a building block, in which stairs are pretty easy to break. The glass is pretty easy to break. And because I'm in creative, it's all pretty easy to break. So yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that. All right, let's go. Rewind, restart. All right, let's grab these guys. So these are we'll get into the items a little later, but so there's a nice little light level. See that? I like it. I think it's kind of a nice alternative to torches. It doesn't do like a big, huge area, but it gives off a little bit of light. This is the metal ingot block. This is the summoning head block, and this is the summoning body to the boss fight. This is a chest that I made. The mod pack is I just called it Fissure. That's kind of like what I'm going for, Fissure mod pack. But so I made a chest that's in the shape of a wall, so you can't jump over it. But the perks it's supposed to have is when they're placed next to each other, it can make a barrier, and they hold 40 items, 40 slots. And the perk I tried to implement is that it could hold 256 items of the same type per slot, but for some reason that didn't carry over. I do not know why, but I'll work on that at some point. Need a little more light. There we go. This is the mineral block that makes the ingots, and this is the gem block. So I plan to change the textures up a little bit too at some point, but right now, what you see is what you get. I'm not too upset about it. I mean, there are some things I want to change. Like, I wish I would have just did this as a stone background and did it like an actual ore block. But I have most of this stuff spawning in the end. This block and this block spawns at really low levels, not like low Y levels, but like a low % chance, like probably as rare, if not rarer than diamond, in the overworld. So you can get it, but I set most of it up to be in the end. Because, well, in my opinion, the end is really kind of bland. Like I think they could probably do more to the end. So now I implemented a flower. So if I go, and let's go into survival real quick. So if we go into survival, the hardness of the blocks, they should be like, these ones should be really hard to break. Deal. Get out of here. Alright. So get rid of that guy. Hopefully no more spawn, because I don't feel like doing the whole... I'm not really familiar with all the commands, so... Yeah. So I made these pretty hard to break. Like... Because I don't want people... Like... I made them for a building, so I don't want a lot of people, like, harvesting them, use them for their own builds. Like, I want it to be a possibility, and using the creative, but... I'm not going for a cosmetic thing. And this is glass, so it breaks like... Well, pretty much like glass. You see, I set up a particle effect. It does dragon breath and a pillar straight up in the air. I think that's pretty sick. But, you know. So this guy breaks. The chests break real easy. I might change that. But, we'll see. And these have... They drop ore. And then they drop the gems, which I gave it the glowing quality. Because I think that'd be... I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah. So that's those basic things. Now, if you break these, you don't get the flower. You get petals. And you get 3 petals per flower. And you know what? I was going to make a furnace and make a crafting table, but you know what? That's just a little too much for me. It's too complicated. So now we have the furnace, and where'd the crafting table go? Oh well. Huh. That's a little odd. Oh, now I have 2 of them. Great. Alright. So we'll go back into game mode S. And now, you know what else I did? I didn't get no fuel, but that's fine. We'll use that. So now if we go into here, I have these various items that I made up. So you got the dust, I didn't get any of the ore. Oh, I got some of the ore right here. It's called Fissure, and the dust. I think both should smelt into ingots. Yeah, I have the recipes for both these to go into ingots. And then we're going to keep going with the items for now. So we'll take those. I got the nuggets, the gems. Alright, so now if you take the flower petals, this is the early game armor thing. 5 of them craft into petal leather, which then, in turn, you can make the petal armor, which does not have boots or a helmet. So the petal armor is legs and the chest plate, which I did for a reason. It has better defense than leather armor, and it has the highest enchantability level you can give armor, so you can super enchant it. So that's why I did that. It's just I didn't want to give it a helmet and boots. I thought this would be kind of cool, just the way it is. I mean, it's supposed to be an early game armor set, and then this stuff, you can craft it into nuggets, and in turn you can craft the nuggets into ingots. I'm just do that because I'm going to make armor out of it anyway. In which this stuff is slightly, ever so slightly, better than diamond, because, well, if you're going to have modded armor, it might as well be a step above vanilla. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know why you would make modded armor that is equivalent or lesser than vanilla armor. It just doesn't make sense to me. So this is ever so slightly better than diamond armor. So we have that option. And then if you want to make the fissure chests, you need 4 gems and 4 leather, and it makes you a fissure chest. So, which you can, do that with. Now, I don't have a lot of use for the gems yet. I'm going to come up with more ideas later. But for right now, this is, like I said, this is a very basic, like, just to see what all goes into building a simple mod pack like along these lines. So, I mean, like, I didn't even do any, like, good machines or anything. But you guys will see that. So, am I in survival? I am in survival. So, if we go and we get our summoning blocks here. And we get our spawn eggs, which we're definitely going to want to go into creative for this. So, yeah, / creative. That should work. Okay, so we're going to go into creative, because I don't want to get wrecked. So this here is our first mob, the first mob I ever created. We're going to go somewhere further away from my test area, so I don't have to deal with them later. And I gave him sounds. He does the piston thing, and if you hit him, he does like the gas thing or something. See, just custom sounds. They are hostile mobs, and yes, they are skinned after the cow. I plan to change the texture a little bit, like get rid of the horns and the udder, at least. Make it a little bit less cow-like. But he does he has enhanced speed, and he does like collision attack. He doesn't have like special attacks as of yet. I tried to give him a ranged attack. I wanted him to throw weakness splash potions out of his fissure mouth, and weakness, or, oh, it's like, where'd he go? That's the speed thing. But I want to do weakness potions and slowness potions as a special attack. But because I made all the fissures immune to potions and fire, but I can't figure out how to do that. But we're gonna see if I can make it work. If not, not. But whatever. Now this guy, he's the Fissure Lord. I gave him the Fissure armor, the leather armor, but for some reason he doesn't have any legs right now. But that's new. That wasn't like that just a little bit ago. And you summon this guy by placing down 2 bodies and then a head on top, and he turns into this. And apparently something made him angry. I don't exactly know what happened there, but upon collision, he does his normal attack, but he has an explosion radius of 2. He can summon in 2 of these Fissure Beasts as another special attack. And the third special attack was supposed to be like when he gets hit, he can have a regeneration effect where he can heal like very small amounts of health as like a very small chance. But I don't know if that's working. It's too hard to tell. So I'll have to look into that later. But that's the mobs. Now let's go to our, as far as world gen goes, you have the flowers and the ore in the overworld. In the end, you have the flowers, the ore, the gems, and this structure here that I built. And there's that. So we're not going to go inside of the structure because I have it rigged. I have it booby trapped. And I still might need this, so we're not going to do that. But in the center, there's a chest, and it has all kinds of like really good loot. And then up here is another chest that has absolutely nothing, because I just kind of use it as like a beacon. And I think that looks cool. So yeah, now I'll show you how the rigging works, which it does work with the spawned-in structures. Pretty much you put the head here, and I have the 2 body pieces down below it like that. I have that attached to a piston, and then whenever you walk through the door, it spawns in the Fissure Lord. Now this is all under the ground, so that's why he spawns up a little higher. So he'll spawn on the floor inside the building, and then you have your boss fight. And when you win or lose, you get I think I have him set right now to drop a diamond block or the elytra, but I gotta switch the pants outline to the darker color. That looks weird. Yeah, it might be alright. I don't know. We'll decide that later. But he's supposed to drop a diamond block, and the rare drops the elytra. That's probably going to change once I figure out how to get modded items into the Mcreator. And I'm going to get away from here so he doesn't end up blowing up my model. I don't feel like rebuilding that again. So let's go back to, actually we're in game mode. We're in creative, so let's just put this stuff up here. And let's grab us. Now I can pretty much guarantee I'm gonna die. Like, I am almost 100% sure he's gonna kill me, because I think he only has like 400 health, in comparison to like the Ender Dragon that has like, I think 1,000. So, I mean, he's still pretty tough. But it's his attacks that do a lot of damage, even with armor better than diamond. So he's definitely a modded boss. Like, in vanilla, you can win, It's very possible, but it's very, it's quite a fight. We'll put it that way. Eh, hopefully that'll do it. I mean, at least for a demonstration. So let's go into game mode survival and drink this regeneration potion. Get rid of that. Just to get us, oh, great. Drank a regeneration potion just to lose it. And we'll go over to this area over here by these chickens, and we will fight this guy. So we'll put this up here like so. And let's do this. Oh man. I don't know why that happened, but see, like, yeah, I didn't even stand a chance. But there's still a little bit of tweaking to do yet. But as far as demonstrations are concerned, oh no. I'll have to reset the trigger. Game mode C. As far as demonstrations are concerned, I think that pretty much sums up the whole thing I got going on here. As you can see, once you hit the pressure plate, he summons in. So, I mean, as soon as I get far enough away, I guess we'll go back inside and I'll show you the inner workings and the chest, because I'll have to reset it anyway. But we're going to make sure he despawns first, because I do not want him to decide to start blowing stuff up. That already happened once. I had to rebuild like 15% of the whole thing. It wasn't like super catastrophic, but it was definitely a significant amount of damage. So we're not going to do that. So up here, this chest is empty, like I said. And you can't really get into the floor underneath here. But, you know, that doesn't really matter. It's mostly for show anyway. So you go in. You can hear the piston under the floor. So this gives a redstone signal that pushes that piston over. It's exactly like the model I have over there. So I'll have to fix that then. And here's the loot you get. I figured this would be kind of good. I mean, it was more or less it's a bunch of random items. Just like some random stuff. You get a potion of strength, the full Fizz armor with mending, some diamonds, a totem of undying, some rabbit's feet, because I think they're kind of rare, some shulker pieces, and then another opportunity to fight the boss. I think that would be like kind of fair loot, because he's going to be a fairly tough boss. Like, trust me. Alright, we got to fix our trigger system for our trap, and we're going to do this, and like that, and like that. And then you got 4 blocks of diamond, and the whole thing is outlined in lapis as extra resources for, you know, extra loot, because, like, until I figure out the whole drop system, like how to get modded items into the drops, this is I want to make sure it's worth your while to want to fight the boss. So, yeah, there you go. That's my mod pack, or my mod that I'm creating. Like I said, I got to do some more tweaking with the mobs, the hostile mobs. I want to change the texture of the flowers. I don't completely like how they look. I added that green part to the bottom because I did this texture and in the middle of the texture pad, and it floated. And I thought, this looks better than them just floating, but I don't want this. I'm going to get rid of that eventually. I might do, I might do a biome. I might make a biome in the end that only the stuff spawns in, except for maybe the ores. The ores can be scattered throughout. But, I don't know about that. Mcreate is really nice, and it's not too bad. Like the procedures to get a GUI for the chests, or to make your mobs attack and stuff can be a little complicated if you don't know what you're doing. But I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. So, so yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I might change the texture for the body block here, because as you can tell, I used the texture from this and then just, changed the colors of the eyes and then distorted it, but you can still kind of see the face. So I might break down and change that at some point. But my favorite thing so far is probably this glass. I think this glass is just amazing. I don't even care. Like, this is like the highlight of everything. It was actually fairly easy to do too. And then, but so far everything you see is already done and implemented. All I have to change is if I can figure out how to change the chest to do 256 items in one thing, then I'll change the recipe for the chest to put an ender chest in the middle to make it a little more expensive and more desirable. The texture for the flowers, some of the procedures for the bosses, or the boss and the beast. And I gotta figure out more recipes for the gems and maybe the powder, because I don't really have any real recipes for the dust other than the fact that you can melt it back down into ingots. And, why would you do that? So I gotta figure out a way to do something with that. And then how to make the flower shearable, because I have an item model for that, but I can't shear the flower. So more recipes for this, shearable flowers. But mostly like the building materials, these three here, were like one of the last things I messed with, so they're like the best. Like, they're the best looking, and I'm kind of proud of it, to be honest. But, yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a recap of some of the things that are going on. And hopefully I can have this mod pack finished and finished and implemented into my mod pack fairly soon. But there are some things, like I said, there's probably about a dozen changes I want to make to what's already existing, and then probably about 5 or 6 more items I want to add to give some more things purpose. I asked around some of the big names in Mcreate about how to make like a trading interface, make your own trading guy, or like a Pam's Harvest Craft market block, and no one got back to me. This one guy, he does Mcreate videos, is like, oh, I check out 95% of my comments, and I answer like 95% of my comments. Well, I guess I was like in that 5% or something, because he never answered me. So I don't know if, it's whatever. I didn't really expect him to, but Hopefully I'll be able to finish this up before Christmas. Right now it's November 25th, so it gives me about a month working on this off and on. Hopefully I can finish it before Christmas and then have it implemented into my mod pack, and we can start, uh, you know, grinding out some more videos and checking out the boss and kill the boss in my actual mod pack world. But that's going to be all for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.